What is there to say about Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, if you have super low expectations, you're going to be really surprised because this game is good. I know I expected very little. I expected very little from this game from based off the earlier showings before it came out, but it's good. I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna break down my takeaways from this game. Um, let's start with the positive stuff. The music was cool as fuck. Like I enjoyed the music. Uh, even in streaming, like there's like they have a streamer mode, so if you're streaming, it doesn't play any licensed music. So that kind of sucks a little bit compared to like just playing without using streaming mode, because the music, the licensed music is really good and it fits and it's only really good songs, obviously. Um, but even some of the non-licensed music, like there's a band called Star Lord. This is and there's no spoilers in this review. I'm gonna keep it um, super spoiler. I despise spoilers. Um, so not only when I see spoilers, but also when other people like I don't like spoiling things for other people either. So, but there's a band called Star Lord in the game. Um, like in the music, it's actually pretty good from what I've heard. I haven't listened to every track, but the tracks that I have listened to were really good, really awesome. And you can listen to the music in the game. Like you can go to the like when you're in a ship, you can go like play songs or whatever. So the music is good.
Do not think that I do not know what you are up to. Your rodent co-conspirator has clearly stashed his illicit units in there. I am watching you, Tree.
Sweet tracks.
It was funnier than I expected. So sometimes you think with sometimes games. Speaking for myself, obviously, sometimes with games like when they try to be too funny, it's like really hit or miss. And so I was worried that this game would be trying to be too cute with their humor. Um, and I wouldn't, I thought I wouldn't like it. However, um, I mean, some jokes I just didn't care for, but for the vast majority of it, like, dude, this game is funny. I have to give it props for being funny. It was funny.
Hey, Gamora.
You're supposed to knock.
What, what are you doing? You're supposed to be looking for money.
I did.
And?
I don't have any.
Also, what's with the dolls?
Do you value your life?
Is that a trick question? Okay, yes, mostly I value my life.
Good. Then pretend like you saw nothing and get out.
See you in the lounge?
Out.
Got it.
It was actually very fun. So it was a fun game, obviously. Uh, you're playing only a Star Lord, so you're like, okay, well, it's gonna get old quick. Well, no, it didn't. It actually was really fun. Um, I mean, I'll get to my complaints about not being able to play as the other characters, but Star Lord is fun to play as. And so these last 2 points about like the positives, my major takeaways is they kind of coincide together. This story is solid. The story was better than I expected it to be. Had a little bit of twist and turns. Some of it was kind of some stuff you can kind of predict. Maybe if you're into like predicting things, stories. But overall, like they surprise me sometimes. And the story's good. It's like really good. And it made me this is kind of like my last point here, point five of my positive takeaways. This game made me feel things. Like it made me feel like emotions. What I mean by that is like it gets, sometimes it gets sad, and sometimes it gets happy, and sometimes it gets those warm fuzzy feelings. This game will attack you at warm fuzzy feelings at times. There's sad moments, there's tough moments, um, and I wasn't expecting that from this game. I was expecting a game that would just try to make you laugh the whole time and fail miserably at making me laugh. But that's not what I got. I got a game that freaking had a great story, made me feel all the ranges of emotion. So I felt, happy when they want to be happy. They made me laugh a lot. There's awkward moments that I felt awkward. I felt third party embarrassment, and I felt sadness. So like there was a lot of sad moments, and so I had all those feelings. And also they gave me some warm and fuzzy feelings every once in a while too. So I had all those. It made me feel all those things. So that's a positive for this game.
They ripped me apart and rebuilt me over and over and over again until I became this half-finished thing they could mold and shape and control.
Oh, Rocket, I had no idea. I mean, I knew the Kree Empire was desperate, but
Do you know what it's like to lose all control of your body? To be in constant pain, trapped inside yourself, unable to stop the horrible things you're doing?
All right, so let's talk about some of the negative things. So some of the things that, um, maybe they're a little nitpicky, but it wouldn't be an honest or fair review if I didn't talk about things that really ticked me off. Um, and I'll try to not talk about things that was clearly just my fault for me as a gamer just being bad. Because, trust me, there's a lot of those. Because
Sway away, Your tone does not imply gratitude.
but here's my negative takeaways. Okay, so I kind of alluded to this one earlier. You only can play as Star Lord. Um, and yes, he's fun to play as. Of course, he's fun to play as. He has jet boots. He has these cool guns. That's fun. Yes, I had fun playing as Star Lord. However, it would have been cool if I get to play as some of the other characters. It didn't have to be all the time. We get it. Star Lord's the main character. The narrative works for Star Lord to be the main character of this game. Obviously, this is the he is the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It makes sense. Yes, he should be the person you play as primarily. However, in some games, in my experience as a gamer, there's sometimes like I don't want to spoil any other games out there, but there's other games where there's like a main character you play as the main character, but they now have like a second bonus mode where you can play as some of the other characters, like like um I don't know. This is probably not a spoiler. This is not a spoiler. Okay, so in Resident Evil 4, like when they did the PlayStation 2 release of Resident Evil 4, you play as Leon the whole game. However, like they had the separate ways where you play as Ada Wong. Like that's what I'm talking about here. So like the main game is you play as the main character, but they have like a bonus mode or the hell they even had the mercenaries mode in Resident Evil. So in like Resident Evil freaking 6 or whatever, you play as like I think they had Resident Mercenaries in Resident Evil 6. I know they had in 4. You can play as Leon, you can play as Ada, you can play as some of the other characters as well. So it's like think about it like that way, like think about it um like other games where there's a main character, but there's also these other modes where you can play as the other guys. It would have been cool for one story moment or something where if you couldn't play as Peter Quill, you get to play as somebody else or whatever. They easily could have been added in. I don't know why they didn't. Well, I say easily. I don't know anything about game development. I would imagine that if there's effort to be had, they could use the effort on something like that. Would have been cool. It would have hit well. These other characters are really cool. Gamora is really cool. Drax is really cool. Groot is freaking amazingly cool. Although I probably wouldn't want to play as Groot as much. I really wanted to play as Rocket one time. I really wanted to play as Rocket just like once. I just wanted to freaking crawl in a freaking vent as Rocket, pull out a freaking giant gun, and just shoot everybody and throw a bomb or something. Just once. I just want to do that one time. Another um, takeaway, a little negative takeaway was it was a little buggy. obviously that's kind of like an asterisk because like they're gonna patch it. Some of the bad bugs I've noted probably already been patched, honestly. So I was trying to recreate this one bug that I had earlier on, not earlier on. I had it lived in the later part of the game actually. I was trying to recreate it for this video, but I wasn't able to. So I'm guessing it was fixed. So that's great. But there's been so many times where there's been like upgrade upgrade materials like somewhere, and I was trying to get to it and I just couldn't get to it. So it's just like it was just like just out of the way, and I tried to go there, and Starlet would just turn around and walk away from it or something, or I just couldn't get to the floor because like it was like literally right there, like it was like on a different floor under me, and it wasn't that big of a jump, but I jumped down there and I would just die. I was like, oh no, you fell off the map. Like no, I didn't fall off the map. I'm like right here. It's like not even a big jump. So I'm pretty sure that's a bug because there was clearly upgrade materials right there. I can't really show the video of that because I didn't really capture that one because of I was in a little bit of a spoiler area. And then the other one that I could have captured, they fixed it, I guess, or maybe I just couldn't recreate it. So maybe it's not that big of an issue. But there's other bugs too. Like I had this other bug where Gamora just had her sword out all the time, and she kept like just stabbing herself over and over again. And it was clearly a bug because the sword would like go through her body. And yeah, it was just a bug. It was just a graphical bug, but there's other stuff like that where it's just like, okay, this is clearly a bug. Like this one time it was really creepy and weird. Drax kept following me around the ship. Like he would just follow me everywhere. You could tell that he wasn't supposed to do it, but he was doing it, and that was a really creepy bug. Um, okay, so these other gripes are kind of nitpicky, but I still they annoyed me enough that I'm not mentioning them now. One is the jet boots. So there's this. I use it a lot in this reel, where you can do this purple like sustained flight mode. I wish they would just let me do that more when we're just exploring. Obviously, they didn't want me to do that just because like oh you probably could just like get around some of these hazards they want or something, or make platforming too easy. But like there's been so many times where the jumps are a little bit too far, and it's just like okay you can make the jump, you just have to do it perfectly. But I don't need to do it perfectly. Just let me use the jet boots. Like, just let me use the freaking jet boots. You have them. Let me use them. And there's other points in the game where it's like, of course, there's some times for story reasons you can't use it, and I get that. But like, there's other points where it's just like, I'm trying to get collectibles or something, or trying to get like resources, and they just won't let me use the boots for whatever reason, because you only can use them when you're fighting, really. Um, I want to use them all the time. Let me use them all the time. Like even when we're exploring or whatever, I should be able to just use the full thrust mode. Um, it just make things easier, and it would be more realistic, honestly.
Oh man, this is bad.
Just give me a sec.
I could probably help if my jet boots worked.
Regulation 3C. Never reactivate foot gear.
Come on! If I can fly up
No! You're my prisoner. And I got this.
And then this kind of leads to my next like nitpicky complaint or takeaway. Um, so this game does that thing where it has like collectibles or whatever, or like resource for like crafting or whatever, and then you have to explore to find it. This game did this thing that was really annoying for me, where it's like the characters are always talking, obviously, which is part of the charm. Just sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's interesting. But they would do this thing when they gripe at you for like like exploring, where they're like, "Hey, you're going the wrong way," and it's funny. It's funny like the first time, and sometimes it fits the story, but like it kind of got annoying, really quickly. Like it got annoying, like pretty for me. That's just maybe it's just for me.
space, Peter.
Yep. Where do you think you're going?
Just making sure this place is safe and secure from the, fire.
Now where'd he go? Hey, Quill! You out laying your eggs or something? That is not how Terrans reproduce.
And then kind of the last nitpicky thing, and it's not really a spoiler because it happens earlier in the game, but you need money to do something. Um, you need money. The characters get money. Um, Depending on what you do or how you do it, depends determines how much money you get. Well, I had a little bit of money. I had a little healthy piece of change there. I had some money, you know. Um, and then you go to this place and you're allowed to spend some money. But there was nothing. I was like saving my money for like a shop to like buy stuff, but there is no shop that I found. And you only have like I only had one opportunity to do this like throughout the whole game. And so there's like things you can explore and like spend money on to like see other parts or whatever, like go to a museum or whatever or something like that. I didn't do any of that 'cause, like, no, I'm gonna save all this money for like a shop. Maybe on my next trip when I have more money, I'll come back and do all this other stuff, and I'll like gamble and all that other crap. So the game didn't do a good job telling you that no, you like spend it or lose it. Like right now, like this is your only fucking shot that you spend this money. Like, you know, so like when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I can spend money here, just go ahead and spend money. Just do it. Like they didn't tell me, I'm telling you. I like if you're watching this video, don't be afraid to spend money. If you have money, and you're at this point where you can spend money, just do it. Like you can do it. You know, there's no reason to save the money. Obviously, there's a story reason why you want to save a certain amount if you want to do the thing what they're trying to do. They're like, hey, we need X amount of money. I think it was like 7,000 or 8,000 or something like that, depending on your choices. So the characters will say like, oh, we need 7,000 or 8,000 for this thing. Well, okay, save that much money for that thing. But all the extra money that you may or may not have, go ahead and spend it. Don't do like I did, where you're like, I'm saving it for we go to this cool shop. We're gonna be shops where you're gonna be like shit I could buy. There is no shop. The shop never happened. I never seen the shop. If there was a shop, I missed it, and then you never ever get a chance to go back and try to find go to the shop. When you go back to the place, you don't even get a chance to go fucking go to the market. That's not an option. So spend the money. Don't do like me. So those are my takeaways for Guardians of the Galaxy. um, I liked it. I'm not gonna like give it a number. I'm just gonna say it's good. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy, if you like Marvel, if you like that kind of stuff, if you like, if you have space in your life for a linear-ish action game where they give you some choices. Some of those choices may affect the story a little bit, but it's not like a choose your own adventure or whatever. It's not like a it's not like a um freaking it's not that big many branching paths per se, but it has a little bit of choices. Um, it's good. You'll like it. This is they're doing their own thing. Obviously they were influenced by the Marvel MCU movies or whatever, but they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own performances. They're doing their own takes on these characters, and it pays off. It's good. It's great. I recommend it. If you like Marvel jokey superhero fun shooty things. All right. Well, that was the review. Please like, subscribe, all that jazz. Uh, cheers.